Hi, I'm singer-songwriter and actor Robert Avellanet, and you're tuning into Deeper Than Music.
Deeper Than Music Radio. Behind every great song is a greater story.
Deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music. Deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music. Deeper than music. The core of you, the fans, the truth is deeper than music. Deeper than music. Simply the truth is the latest, the newest. It's deeper than music. Deeper than music.
Deeper Than Music Radio. Behind every great song, there's an even greater story. I like to say what's up to everybody listening to us on all the platforms that we're podcasted on, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. As you know, Deeper Than Music, we cover all genres of music around the world. And today we have a very special guest. I mean, this guy comes from music royalty. Me personally, when I think of Menudo, I remember when I was a kid, it was Michael Jackson, Menudo. He also worked with, shared the stage with greats as Celia Cruz, has done a salsa album, and also just recently released a English album. Ladies and gentlemen, we have singer and actor Robert Avellanet here, or RoBA, here on Deeper Than Music Radio. How you doing?
How's it going, Marcus? Everything's good. Thanks for that intro, man. Everything's good. Thanks for that. I want to say hi to everybody listening, to your audience out there. It's my pleasure to be here with you, sharing some of my music, and I'm excited, man. In these tough times, it's good to focus on the good stuff. Music, it's what takes us away and brings good stuff.
Yeah, man, and you mentioned it, man, because there's one of my favorite rappers, man. He has this line saying, "Couldn't imagine going through it without soul music." And right now, it's like you said, it's crazy, man. We don't know from today or tomorrow, what to expect. So I want to ask, how are you holding up, man, during these times?
Well, man, like everybody else, like most of the people out there, like I'm staying home as much as I can, with my family. I have a wife and a daughter, and I live here in Los Angeles, and so we're just going out there to buy food and whatever, basic stuff we need. But we're here, home, waiting until all this crazy stuff passes and we can finally return to have our normal life routine. But yeah, I'm trying to keep myself, busy here, like doing music, working on I'm doing a few other things other than music. I'm also a writer, so I'm finishing a screenplay. There's a few things going on, but at least we're alive and expecting, the best. So hopefully it's going to be fine.
Yeah. And like you said, man, during these times, being creative and just staying active, that's what's important. So,
Yep.
I know that, man, you just like, since you were a kid, you've been like, this celebrity working with greats and just doing all these wonderful things. Initially, when you were young, or actually, when did you know you wanted to be an entertainer?
Well, I was actually 12 years old when I did my first audition for it was a casting, for this boy band Menudo. That was It was pretty huge already by that time, because Menudo started in Puerto Rico, which I'm from Puerto Rico. Menudo started in 1977. So by 1987, which is 10 years after, I was a fan of the group. So that whole decade of Menudo, because Menudo members used to, be substituted. The new members came in once you grew and look too old, to be a part of the group. So my generation was late 80s, and I had no idea I could do this until I went to the audition, and they picked me up, and I happened to have this talent. But I love music since I was super young, because I have two older brothers, and music has always been, one of the most important things in my life. And I guess by joining there in 1988, I discovered all these talents I had, and and I made a living out of that and a career.
Wow. And you say like Menudo, like how was that experience? Like, and to our listeners, Menudo is like one of the boy bands. It's up there with the Jacksons. It's up there with New Edition. It's up there with New Kids on the Block. This was before what's it called? Not Making the Band, but American
like before
Idol.
New Direction and All American Idol and all those things. That
Yeah.
was way before. Yeah.
So how was that process, man? How was it? So you did the audition, and I mean, what was it? What was that whole experience like?
Yeah, well, I was going to school like a regular kid. So then I have an aunt that she saw the newspaper. There were newspapers then, and she saw an ad that said that Menudo was auditioning. So I went, and they picked me up, and the group, like I said, it was already pretty famous. So I jumped in there, and it was a crazy train. It was already like a lot of fame. I had to travel a lot throughout Latin America and the world, and there was a lot. It was a lot of work. You had to stay. There was a lot of discipline that you had to follow, and so I mean, it was an institution, already by then. So I had the privilege to just go in and be part of that and meet amazing people throughout those years. And then after that, that changed my life, so I'm very proud, and I feel like I'm humbled that I was part of that group, and I will always be, man.
And then I wanted to ask, because it was an institution. It was who? Do you think were you mentally prepared or aware of like what you were about to step into with that group or that exposure?
I had no idea, because the thing is, when you're a kid at 12, 13 years old, you have no idea what's going on in life. You know what I mean? So you just want to live and have a good time and have fun. So, and I had it, but like, actually, when I left the group is when I actually like realized how important that was. I wasn't mature enough, but I enjoyed it a lot. It was like I said, it was a crazy train that I had to follow, and a lot of traveling, a lot of rehearsing, to come up with a group like that. And you had to be, on top of everything, like studies.
Yeah.
We used to have like a tutor that used to like travel with us, and then we had to rehearse like 3-4 days a week for like 2 hours each day. So it was a lot of work, that came to me like at a super early age. But I mean, I think it was great. It really it helped me, to become what I am today. And to me, that's what I learned from that, and that's what matters.
And then, so you also shared the stage around that time was Ricky Martin still a part of Menudo?
Yeah, when I went in, Ricky was like the oldest one. He was the one that left like a year after I joined. So I spent with him like a year, touring and performing. It was a whole year with him. Yeah, he was there.
And it's like, like you said, you age out once you reach a certain age or get a mustache or something. I'm just playing.
So he's like 3.5 years older than me. So like he was older, and at that age, that you look older when you're like 17 or 18, and then the other one is 13. It looks pretty smaller compared, compared to you. So he was the oldest one, and then he left.
Yeah. So after Menudo, how was your life changed after Menudo and the exposure that you received?
Yeah, well, I left Menudo in 1991. So what I did is my mom, and we loved Menudo, we loved everything, but we wanted to stay, doing stuff on stage and singing. I loved, everything related to that. So we did another band that was kind of popular in Puerto Rico and in a few other countries. It was called Euphoria. So we did Euphoria, and we did a few things. Like I said, we went to South America and like Mexico and a few cities here in the US. But then after that, I was like kind of overwhelmed with all these, shows and trips and that. So what I did is I went to college and I studied publicity. I was like, I want to do something different.
Okay.
So I went to college and studied, and then after that, I was like, you know what? I did this already, but my life is music and it's art and acting and all that. So So I signed a contract with like Universal Music for a salsa album. At that time, like Mark Anthony was kind of super famous already. Like he was like exploding internationally. So I remember Mark was leaving this record label that I was signed to. It was affiliated to Universal. It was called RMM. It was super famous in New York, and all these people like from the Fania All Stars, which are salsa stars like Hector Lavoe and all those classic people were there. So I was signed to that company when Mark Anthony left.
Deeper
They wanted
than
me, so they
music
signed me,
radio.
and we did this album. It's called Sentir, which means feel, and it was pretty good. It was a great, amazing opportunity there, and I had the honor to share stage with like Celia Cruz and Tito Puente. They're both dead now. So and I'm still young, I feel, but it was a privilege, and that's one of the things I did. And after that, you know, I kept like doing music. I did an album in Spanish, then I have the one I did in English, and I kept like doing like acting and theater and stuff like that.
So we mentioned Euphoria. I want to get into your music. So the first song I have queued up is Love is a Journey. Can you give us the story behind this song?
Yeah, well, when I moved to LA back in 2011, one of my dreams since I was a kid was to be able to do an English album, you know, because I've always sang in Spanish. So it's like, I want to do something in English because I was raised with mostly music in English, like from soul music to like pop and rock and all these things. So all these genres. So I came here, and a friend of mine moved from Miami as well, because from Puerto Rico, I moved to Miami, and then I moved to LA. So my friend did the same. This is an amazing producer, a musician. His name is Fernando Perdomo, and he's so talented. He plays every instrument. So we got together. And he had like this hook, like this chorus for Love is a Journey. And I heard it and I was like, wow, this sounds so nice. I want to be able to, I want to have this track in my album. So we just wrote it together. We finished the song together, and it's called Love is a Journey. And it's super simple, man. It's about love. Now the good times we're living. And like it's tough, man. We need to take care of each other. We need to love more each other. That's what the world needs, actually, man. You know, there's a lot of bad stuff out there, and this song is simply, it's about love. It's about wanting to share your life with somebody else and going out there and have fun and explore, because love is a journey.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, now we're gonna play. You just heard the story behind the song Love is a Journey here on Deeper Than Music with special guest RoBA.
Deeper Than Music Radio.
Love is a journey, and I want to go everywhere with you. There's lots of places to explore, and this is what life is for. Let's go! Life is a journey, and I want to go and live it up with you. So come with me and take my hand. Enjoy the ride, here I am. Let's go. There's so much beauty for both of us to see. Wanna go everywhere with you. Come with me, baby. Let's go. Go everywhere with you.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you just heard "Love Is a Journey." You mentioned doing a. Oh no! Before I even go into that, I mean, I've always loved Celia Cruz, and I saw Netflix. They had a docu-series about her, and like, how was it working with Tito Puentes and sharing the stage with these acts? Or in essence, like, did you have any fan moments or anything like that?
Well, I remember, like, of course, I mean, I was a fan of them, but I remember, like, I met them a few times because we were together in, like I said, in this record label. So there were like a few activities and stuff that the label used to do throughout the year that's where I saw them and got together with them and be able to, and met them. So, but there was one specific time in New York. I forgot the theater or what's the venue that we were in, but it was probably like ASCAP Music Awards. I think it was like ASCAP, the Association of Songwriters. So they were there, and then I remember, like, everybody, like, when you're a salsa singer, they expect that you should sonero. A sonero is someone that improvises, and you go on stage and you improvise on top of the music, especially at the end of each salsa song. So, I mean, I'm a songwriter, so I thank God I have the talent, and I was able to sonear, like how they say in Spanish. So they called everybody on stage, and there was like a few other big stars there at that time, but they were two of the major ones there was Celia Cruz and Tito Puentes. So, and I went upstage. And I improvised with them and a few other, salsa singers. So, and that specific night is unforgettable. I mean, that's the time that there were a few photos out there, and I saw them online, and I haven't been able to see them again. Like, I'm trying to see if I can get those photos, and it's me with them, right there singing. I would put them on a portrait right away or hang it on my wall.
And I also wanted to ask, because I had the pleasure of I work, besides doing podcasting, I also work in the aviation field. I had the honor of working with Copa Airlines and going to Panama and then Bogota, Colombia. And I've always loved Latin music. I've loved the energy. I love the percussions. I wanted to ask your perspective. What is the difference between Latin American markets and the North American market when it comes to music, fans, and the energy?
Yeah, well, I would say, well, the roots of each one of these countries have a different kind of like a sound or vibe. But like us Latin, like Latinos, how people call, the culture, there's a lot of flavor in our music, because remember that we come, like, our roots come from like between Spain and Africa and all these, people that migrated to America. So somehow, by being close to Africa, we have all these rhythms and all these like sounds that is distinctive, from us. The way we put it together, the salsa started between Puerto Rico and Cuba. Son cubano, how they call it, So we have a lot of things in common, all these countries. Like, although the music in each country, it's different, some people can't tell the difference. Me as Latino, I know the difference the music in different areas. But here in US, I mean, it's a different. I'm not saying. I mean, there's a lot of Latino. There's great music here, but I would say that rhythm and that flavor is what makes us different from, let's say, more like the Anglo music, because here's the Anglo music. Whatever it's a hit here, it's gonna be a hit worldwide. So
yeah.
So yeah, but like I said, I mean, I love a lot of music, different styles. I'm a fan of a lot of stuff. I've done pop, I've done rock, I've done salsa, I've done reggaeton. I think I sent you a song of reggaeton. You have one of my songs there, I believe. So
which
that I
one
produced.
so we could
that was called Cuando Tú Bailas, when you dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's cue that up now. Could you give us a story about this song?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I've been doing music my whole life. So one day I was like, you know what? Reggaeton it's a great rhythm. It's had a lot of impact around the world. I want to do my song. I want to do a song. So I had the privilege I'm a producer, so I produced this track myself. I did it all. I wrote it, I sang it. So it's called Cuando Tú Bailas. It's got some flavor. There, and it came up like that. It's one of my favorites.
We go with RoBA, some reggaeton.
Puerto Rico, yeah.
Deeper Than Music Radio.
Ya tú sabes que yo existo, que esta noche será más de lo previsto. Pide lo que quieras, lo hacemos a tu manera. Vente mami, vamos a bailar. Aquí todos te miran con deseo. Yo ya estaba quemándome en tu fuego. Ven conmigo, nena, mueve esa cadera. Vente mami, vamos a gozar. Y ya no baile más sola, vente sin demora conmigo. Y ya no baile más sola, vente, ven a hacerlo conmigo. Que a mí me sube la presión cuando tú bailas. Que a mí me sube la presión cuando tú bailas conmigo. Bien pegadito pa' calentar, afincadito vamos a gozar. Que loco me tiene, que sexy te mueve cuando tú bailas. Bien pegadito pa' calentar, afincadito vamos a gozar. Que loco me tiene, que sexy te mueve cuando tú bailas. Agárrame que ya empezó la fiesta. El party se prendió apenas comienza. Dame eso que quiero, yo te vi primero. Vente mami, vamos a tripear. Tú tírate con toque, voy sin miedo. Tú tienes ese swing que para pelo. Pide lo que quieras, lo hacemos a tu manera. Vente mami, vamos a bailar. Y ya no bailes más sola, vente sin demora conmigo. Y ya no bailes más sola, vente, ven a hacerlo conmigo. Que a mí me sube la presión cuando tú bailas conmigo. Que a mí me sube la presión cuando tú bailas conmigo. Bien pegadito pa' calentar, afincadito vamos a gozar. Que loco me tiene, que sexy te mueve cuando tú bailas. Bien pegadito pa' calentar, afincadito vamos a gozar. Que loco me tiene, que sexy te mueve cuando tú bailas. Me sube la presión cuando tú bailas conmigo. A mí me sube la presión cuando tú bailas conmigo, mami. Bien pegadito pa' calentar, afincadito vamos a gozar. Que loco me tiene, que sexy te mueve cuando tú bailas. Bien pegadito pa' calentar, afincadito vamos a gozar. Que loco me tiene, que sexy te mueve cuando tú bailas. En Puerto Rico vamos a bailar, afincadito vamos a gozar. Que loco me tiene, que sexy te mueve cuando tú bailas. En Puerto Rico vamos a bailar, afincadito vamos a gozar. Que loco me tiene, que sexy te mueve cuando tú bailas.
All right, so there we have it. Reggaeton produced by you. Wow, wow. So you do it all. And I was gonna say, so from music to songwriter, you also transitioned into acting. So how was that transition? How was that like?
Yeah, well, when I was actually in the group and going back to Menudo, we did a few things as guests, like in TV shows and soap operas throughout Mexico, Venezuela, and even U.S. So that comes from there. So, like I said, I've been able to stay active, also like in theater, soap operas, short films, feature films. Like I've done all these things throughout the year. It's in my nature. I love it. I love great stories. I love photography. Like I said, the fourth art, like they call it. It's film. So it's part of me. It's part of who I am. It's part of what I love. And it's been tough, but I've been able to do a few things. But I haven't done what I want to do. What I know I'm gonna do. Like I said, I just finished my screenplay, writing a screenplay, so I'm excited about that too. And just living a day at a time, man. But doing it.
Wow. And how was like writing a screenplay? How's that different from like, because a screenplay, you got to do the whole nine. A song is a song, right? How would what is like the major difference? Because I imagine that's like a huge task to take on.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, it is. Well, I'll tell you what I did. First of all, I read a book. Like I did some research about what the best book for beginners or screenwriters. What's the best book out there? So I found this book and I read it. It's called The Foundations of Screenwriting, which is the author is Sid Field. He passed away. It's a super it's like Hollywood's like screenwriting Bible. Like everybody should read that book if you want to go into that field. So I read it. I did some research. I had the story in my head. So it took me like 10 months, almost a year, and I wrote this story and I polished it, and then I invited my own son. I have a 19-year-old son who helped me out at the end, and of course I want to play the guy. I want my son to be able to play one of the characters in the movie. So, it's a challenge, but we did it, man. I did it. It was probably the biggest challenge in my life. And so far, I've had I had some feedback from, professionals and friends, and they love it. So, this is like my new baby that hopefully when this COVID-19 thing goes away, I'm going to be able to, keep pushing,
Yeah. And would you say writing this piece is that one of the most challenging aspects of your career throughout your whole?
I would say so, man. I would say so, because to answer part of your last question, writing a song, it's completely different. Writing a song is just putting some rhymes together on top of a melody. Writing a screenplay, it's different. The screenplay that I wrote has 3 acts, so you got to know what happens in each act. You need to know how to develop the characters. You need to know how to reveal information to the reader, how to have a character arc. It's really a very different thing than writing a song. So it wasn't easy. I mean, I know I'm going to keep writing others, and it's going to be better and better, the more I practice. But I'm proud of what we did, actually, because my son did it with me as well. And I believe in it. I believe in this project 100%. So I'm gonna keep pursuing that as well.
Yeah. So now we'll get back into the music. I have queued up "Shine Your Light." Can you give us the story behind the song?
Yeah, "Shine Your Light" is part of my album Heart and Soul, which is out there under Robert Avellanet. Heart and Soul. The words, they say it all. Your heart and your soul, but I also love soul music. I'm a fan of soul. I love soul music. The classic people. I love Marvin Gaye. I love Stevie Wonder. I love Kool and the Gang. I'm a fan of those people. So So I wanted to do some music, with that influence and having some kind of funky disco vibe. So Shine Your Light is a super positive song as well, because I'm a positive person. I believe with my music, I want to leave a message to people that is much needed today. So it's about bringing out the best in you and believing in you, what is the most important thing in this life. If you want to pursue something and you want to be good at it, or you want to achieve something that you've always dreamed with doing, you have to believe in yourself and shine the brightest you can. So that's what Shine Your Light is.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here from RoBA. Shine Your Light here on Deeper Than Music.
Deeper Than Music Radio.
This is for a new generation. Shine your light, spread your wings together. Shine your light, just like a star from heaven. Wake up every morning with a bag of dreams, go on. Don't let other forces stop you. You were meant to shine like gold. Never give up, you gotta be strong. To win in this world, you gotta keep on. Never give up, you gotta say at least you tried it. Shine your light, spread your wings together. Spread your wings. Shine your light, just like a star from heaven. Like a star from heaven. You got to fight your way around. Don't let them take you to the ground. You got the power of a lion, just shine. You got to fight your way around. Don't let them take you to the ground. You got the power of a lion, just shine. Every day is an adventure. You control your destiny. Cause the power is inside you. And it's time to set it free. Never give up.
You gotta never give up.
To win in this world,
You gotta win in this world.
never give up.
You gotta say at least you tried it.
Shine your light, spread your wings together. Spread your wings. Shine your light, just like a star from heaven. Like a star from heaven. Shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your light. Never give up, you gotta be strong. To win in this world, you gotta keep on. Never give up, you gotta say at least you tried it. Never give up, you gotta be strong. To win in this world, you gotta keep on. Never give up, you gotta say at least you tried it. Fight your way around, don't let them take you to the ground. You got the power of a lion, just shine. You got to fight your way around, don't let them take you to the ground. You got the power of a lion, just shine. Shine your light. Yeah. Spread your wings together. Spread your wings. Shine your light, just like a star from heaven. Like a star from heaven. Shine.
All right, so we just played Shine Your Light, and you mentioned the likes of Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder. Wanted to ask, who are your influences? Like, who influences you musically?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of people, but in terms of soul music, I have a few people that I love. Like I said, I already mentioned Marvin Gaye. I mentioned Kool and the Gang. That group, man, marked my life. I love Kool and the Gang. I love every song. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
like Lionel Richie, and if we go even before that, like Louis Armstrong, like Ella Fitzgerald. Like I'm a fan of Ella Fitzgerald, man. So
Wow.
I have a
Yeah.
lot of influence from the old times, and then back going to the '80s. I love rock music. I love Prince. I love Michael Jackson. I love like bands like Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
there's a lot of diversity out there that really inspired me throughout my life, and yeah, a lot, man, a lot.
Wow. And throughout your whole career, what has been the most rewarding moment?
Uh, I would say, wow, man, there's been a few things there, but that's a tough question. I don't know. There's been so many things that have rewarded me, man. But I would say finishing my English album, man. That was a dream come true when I was able to do this with my friend producer and here in LA. In terms of a personal satisfaction, I would say that. And probably finishing my screenplay, man. And that's big to me. That's something I never thought I was gonna be able to do. But other than that, of course, like being part of Menudo, that was the main thing, man.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I'm trying to think. So in 2003, there was a Menudo reunion.
Yeah.
How was that like? After being away from Menudo for so long and then getting back together with the
Well,
group?
that was great. That was great. I mean, I had the opportunity to get together with the Menudos of my generation back in 2003, and we did a tour and we did stuff, and it was great. It wasn't like pretty well like organized. It wasn't really. I don't know what happened there in terms of that. The management didn't work, and everybody after that went their way, and like we never got back together again. My generation, but like a few years ago, back in 2015, I was invited again to be part of a reunion, and the curious thing about this is that it was in my generation. It was the oldest Menudos, the first ones. They had different like music that they used to sing, the different songs than my time, and I got back together with them for the first time. I was invited to be part of that generation, and now there's another that it's on hold because of the COVID, and there are shows now in Mexico. There's a few shows in Mexico, Puerto Rico. They're talking about Colombia, Washington, Los Angeles, and to go back and do, a few shows there. We only need COVID to go away, man. That's what we need.
Yeah, just COVID is just putting everything on hold, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I can't wait till this thing. We get back to some form of normalcy. I wanted to add too, like, so in your spare time, and I mean now you got everybody has spare time, right? Well, what do you like to do? What does RoBA like to do in his spare time?
Well, not without COVID or with COVID.
Without COVID.
Without COVID. Oh
Yeah.
man, I like to go out and have food with my family, have dinner out. We go to the movies. We go to the beach. We love going to the beach together. My wife, my daughter, and I. We love going there to Santa Monica or Malibu and spend some time with nature. Other than that, I'm at my age, I'm pretty much a family guy, man. I love being home. I love, writing music. Like I write songs and like I said, I'm always trying to stay busy, doing something new. And of course, my social media, I love to spend time, with my fans, because that's all you have, man. When you're an artist, man, you have the people that follow you and that love you. Other than that, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm a quiet person. I'll be honest. When I'm home, like I like to read. I like to read stuff about personal growth and spirituality.
Yeah.
So yeah, those kind of things.
Awesome. And then you mentioned man, you mentioned on social media. So shameless promotion time. Where can fans and they want to hear what RoBA is doing, and once this is we're out of out of the virus tour dates, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah,
This is
well, the most I use is Instagram. So, and I have it linked to my Facebook and my Twitter, but I use that Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You just can find me by Robert Avellanet, and it's Robert, one word, A V as in Victor, Ellallanet, Robert Avellanet, and just like that, just my name. And yeah, I like to stay in touch with people. I like to, answer back, when people write, as much as I can. It's important that connection with people. And yeah.
So we again thank you for your time and man, just sharing all this great history about your outstanding career. So what do you say to a person like a young person that looks up to you and like, I want to be exactly like RoBA? What advice would you give them?
Okay, my advice would be, first of all, identify what is your passion, because I would say the challenge in this life is to do what you love before to do what you need to do to stay alive or just to move on in life. So forward in life. But what I would say is to stay being perseverance, man. The perseverance person. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah, perseverance, man, and patience, I would say, is my those are my weapons to stay alive and to keep moving forward. Just focus and go and see the goal there and just pursue it with all your heart, and wake up every morning of your life and do something towards that. Make a phone call, send an email, write a new song or whatever your passion is. Just go for it and forget about what people say. If you feel it in your heart and if you feel it's the right thing to do, you have to do it. There's no choice.
There you go. Priceless advice. And again, thank you. And my last question before we close out with When I Have You, what does music mean to you?
Music is my life, man. Music is my life. I would not be able to live without it. And I am proud and I am humbled and honored to be able to write music and to share it with people throughout my life and my fans. That's what keeps me alive, man. My fans. And I would say I'm a vehicle somehow of God, that throughout my music, what I've always tried to do is leave a positive mark, leave something that is going to help people to move on or to go through something, if it's affecting them, that they need to move on and survive. You know what I mean? That's what music is about.
Awesome. So we're gonna close out with When I Have You. Can you give us the story behind the music?
Yeah, When I Have You, it's a it's a romantic song I actually wrote to my wife. My wife, okay, by then was my girlfriend. So I wrote this song, and it's pretty straightforward. When I have you, I have it all. That's what the song is about. It's really a love song, but it's magical because it's got this unique sound. And this arrangement that my friend Fernando came up with, it's just beautiful.
Wow. So ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. And again, RoBA, thank you. And we're closing out another episode of Deeper Than Music Radio with When I Have You.
Thanks a lot, Mark. It was blessings to you and your people. Thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Radio.
Thank you.
Day has been so wrong, when everybody seems to be against me. flow. Now I'm counting the minutes, counting the hours to get to your arms and fill you with flowers. I wanna get sentimental with you and make love the whole night. When I have you, all the pain is over. Every time I look into those eyes. When I have you, I feel so much stronger. Nobody can hurt me anymore. And when no one's understanding nothing, and my words just can't be clear, this is the situation that keeps coming on and on. I feel the pressure more and more. Now I'm counting the minutes, counting the hours to kiss back your lips, to get back my power. I wanna spend all my life around you, loving you's just so right. When I have you, all the pain is over. Every time I look into those eyes. When I have you, I feel so much stronger. Nobody can hurt me anymore. During tough times you can count on me to learn to dance under the rain. And when nothing makes sense, I'll be there for you. Every second of our lives I will hold on. I swear it's true. When I have you, I can see the sunshine in your eyes. When I